Hello, all you hardcores out there. How you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here that everybody wants to say in the sport of boxing. And if anybody feels that they want to come on here and do a Zoom, like the rest of my guys on here who come on here, and they want to join the Porky Commission, you're more than welcome. The email is in the bottom left-hand corner, porkycorner@mail.com. All right. Our sister channel is Porky's International, YouTube. That's a slow burner. That covers other topics. Today I'm joined by my good friend Andy, who's not from Aberdeen. How you doing, Andy?
How'd it? Not bad, Rush, yourself.
I'm all right, lad. I'm all right. Things are going a little bit great for me. A little bit better.
That's good. Things picking up.
Down here, aren't I? West Midlands. I'm a West Midlands lad now. We're people that speak a little bit different to me. We say funny, they say funny. But I like it down here, and the people are great. They've checked me fantastic, and I like going to dog racing and seeing my pal Lyndon. How are you doing, Lyndon? Keep them tips coming from me, lad. How are you, Andy? Are you all right?
I'm all right, Porky.
Pity I don't see Dale Nichols. He's only in next village, Lichfield, and swerving me, innit? Hi, Dale. He's all
You
right.
hit chap his door.
Yeah, he used to be the voice of hardcore pay per view, but I think the thought of me knocking on his door with him there with his little honey worries him because he's worried I'm going to chop one out on his fancy coffee table in his big gaff. He's all right, Dale. You have to give me a ring, Dale. Give me an email. We'll meet up for a pint. Uh, what have you been up to?
Well, I had a late one last night watching the boxing. Um, I did a couple of videos earlier on in the day, and I think about half after 2 in the morning, I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I should make a video about the aftermath. And then I think I woke up with my head on the laptop here.
Like I did the other night when I'm with you. You know what? I was up that day at 4. If I can't sleep, I have to go out and go. I go on my mountain bike, or I go for a run or a long walk. If I can't sleep, because I don't see it point in just laying there because you lay dormant, aren't you? Your organs. I've done enough for that for years. When I was a heroin addict, I just used to lean over, get the foil out, put a big John Lennon Beetle on it, big blowtorch, and then go back to sleep. I've done all that, and you grow up, don't you? In the end, but I have to do some, constructive kind of thing. My mindset's a little bit different. But yeah, I was knackered that day. I
That's all
didn't,
right.
I didn't drop off for long. Just like,
Oh, I just about managed to keep it going.
yeah, but I've got members of my family like, oh, you're back on tackle. I said, what are you on about? Tackle? Oh, you were gouching. I said, oh, I'm knackered. You know,
Sleep's fuel, don't it? You do need quality sleep.
Yeah,
Uh,
and you know what? I have problems sleeping. If anybody's got any ideas, I'd sleep. Melatonin doesn't seem to work for me all night, nurse. That's why is it all you can get from Holland and Barrett or anything like that? Have you got? Do you know?
uh, I don't know. I mean, there was a guy I used to know. He had his own courier business. But he used to work night shift in Asda as well. But he used to use what is it, Pyrotin? You know that
I've heard that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
he used to use that. That seemed to help him. But I've
yeah,
never had much trouble sleeping myself. Uh,
yeah.
Occasionally, but it's not nice if you can't sleep there. If you wake up, but
Nightmare, isn't it? Nightmare.
oh, it's no good at all. So,
Uh, okay.
how's things? Are you still going on Frotch's channel? How's that going?
Well, your guess is as good as mine. What's the point in asking me? And then when I say, well, I'm coming on, Carl, what we're doing here? And then swerving it. I don't know. Carl, what we doing? What we need to go back on your word? Pop, pop, bang.
Come on, Cobra, get Porky on your channel.
Cobra's
Get
all
the
right.
views up. You'll get good views for that.
Listen, it's like a lot of people, they want to come on here, and then when they come down to it, they think, oh, it's a bit out there. But I don't know what Carl's problem is because he's come out and he said his channel's gone in that direction, very similar to mine. But whereas I say he leaves like a question, he asks a question, doesn't he? Like tonight, he said, "Is Conor Ben serving a ban or what?" Whereas I say he is serving a ban. There's a difference, isn't there? But it's still. But I listen. I've burnt all the bridges on inboxing because I go after the lot of them. Nobody gets a free run with me. None of them. There's no favours. Now, maybe he didn't want to burn bridges. I don't know. He's burnt them, but I don't know. Or maybe trying to repair them. I don't know. But pick up the phone, Cobra. Oh, he could come on here. It don't matter. It don't
Aye,
matter. Either way, it's boxing, isn't it? And it's not like he needs any dough out of sport, is it? Or any respect.
nah, that's
He's
it.
a Hall of Famer. He's got an MBE Hall of Fame, four-time champ. He don't need to be worried about anything that anybody says, does he? So
He's got you in his mind anyway because he was saying pop pop bang the other day. I noticed in one of his videos.
oh, he's nicked this one. He's nicked every single one liner of mine going. Eddie Hills, the
Flip top.
lot. I ain't bothered about that. I think that's fantastic. He can have
Ah,
all my one-liners. I can give him more if he wants,
yeah,
but he'll have me on his channel. Could you imagine me and him on his channel once a
that'd
week?
be magic. Yeah.
Massive, wouldn't it?
Oh,
It'd be
aye.
absolutely massive. So, what are you afraid of, Cobra? Hey, word made of oak. We're gonna see, aren't we? He knows I love him. Really, he's a good kid. Listen, he's a lovely kid, and his missus is. You met
Aye.
them, haven't you, Carl? The
I
Rachel.
met them. Aye.
You met them. They're lovely, aren't they?
Name it, no kill. Aye.
What's she say
Superb.
about
Aye.
me, Rachel? What's she say about me?
We love Porky Russ. We love Porky Russ.
That's the worst Scouse accent I've ever heard.
We love Porky Russ. I was speaking to him and like telling him that that's probably with you, and he's shouting over, "Hey, you're right." She says, "This is Porky Russ's mate," and she had her pal with her, and she's going, "Oh, we love Porky Russ."
She's all right. She's lovely. Hey, listen, they've been together through thick and thin now. They've been together 16 years now. 16 years this
Yeah,
Christmas. That's not bad, is it?
good on them, eh? Good on them.
Hey, 16 years.
So great
Look,
chemistry between them, eh? When you watch them on the channel, eh?
hey, listen, mate. They're in each other's pockets all day, mate. That's what. Sometimes you meet somebody and you get on with them. Sometimes you meet somebody and it's a bit different, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. There you go. The old Tankersley. Thought I'd go for it tonight. I've had a long week. I've trained my knackers off all week, and I think every now and then on a Saturday and a Sunday, it's time to eat what you want. I'm not a massive eater, as you know, and drink what you want for them 2 days, and it's Saturday, Sunday. I trained today,
Yeah.
but I've just been out running now. I think old Tankersley gin with tonic, slimline tonic, by the way, because somebody who's nice and slim like me. Right,
Fever Tree tonic's quite popular, eh?
you what, mate?
Fever Tree tonic's quite popular, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Bombay gin is as well, isn't it?
Mm. There's a lot of gin distilleries in Scotland. There's a lot of
I
gin
thought it was just
distilleries.
whiskey that you jocks drank up there.
It's big business gin up here now. If you get yourself a bottle of Caruan gin,
Yeah.
uh, I'll I'll text you the spelling of it. It's made at a distillery that my dad grew up. Well, long time ago. He's 80
You
now.
got a drinks cabinet handy at yours.
I've got my cavern.
Yeah, you've got it. Cobra's got a drinks cabinet in his
Okay.
front room. In his front room, I swear to God, there's champagne, gin, goose. Is it goose grey or something? Vodka or a grey
Grey
goose?
Goose, French vodka,
All,
French.
all the lot, and he's not even a boozer. I think he has a
Oh, yeah,
Guinness every now and then. He might have odd vodka, but
that's the stuff. Grey Goose.
grey
Uh,
goose.
it's like 40 quid a bottle or something.
I forgot what whiskey I had. I had some really expensive, really, really expensive whiskey, and I sent Andy Patterson a bottle. Because I'm boxing asylum. He says,
Yeah.
"Seen that video, Russ, in your kitchen? There's some whiskey or something." So
Macallan, right?
he says, "How much do you want for that bottle?" I forgot what it was called now. I forgot, and
Macallan?
I forget. Andy probably tell you. He's more into that than me. I'm not a big whiskey
Yeah.
man. I said, I'll send you a bottle. He said, how much do you want for us? I said, no, if you come on channel. He came on, Andy Patterson, did good numbers as well. Talks a lot of
Yeah.
sense, doesn't he? Man, they're all them. I don't know if he still goes on there. They're only really him and Ozzy and Steve Wellings that I really listen to
Yeah.
on there. But I thought Brian King were all right years ago, but I think he jacked early. But I don't understand all them Americans on there and all that. I don't know what's going on with that, but I haven't listened to that for a few months now. But
Yeah,
still going strong, aren't they? Though every Sunday kind of thing. So, Andy, obviously you've watched the boxing
yeah.
the weekend, as we both have. Uh, where do
Had
we
a mixed
start?
bag with had a mixed bag with my predictions.
Yeah, well, same here. Where do we start? So I'll tell you where we'll start. The intense beef, all we've seen all week is intense beef and these stupid titles that these stupid YouTubers are putting out, misleading people, right? And when you watch the video, you're like, whoa, what? You think there's something going on, like Derek Chisora every now and then. Derek Chisora, if you read the title and you think he's going to batter Eddie Hearn, and then you watch the interview, and all they're doing is hugging and kissing. It's a load of shit. Is this
It's
boxing?
clickbait.
Is this boxing journalism at the moment? What's going on, Andy?
It's poor, isn't it? It's just clickbait, and it's just try to get numbers in it, but bullshit basically, isn't it? It's just BS. They're not doing their job. The boxing media, like the GAD and all them, it's just a slithery slime fest. Not holding people to account, not asking questions, and slavering a load of nonsense. That's all they're doing, isn't it?
Yeah. Uh, right. I'm going to start with Crusher Ben, right, because we've covered this a lot in the last 2.5 years since he failed that dope test. We all agree on that, don't we? We all know when
Yeah.
he failed it, blah, blah, blah. Right. I can't say all this text is off, but it says, why the board not announce it and look good for having the balls to ban him and send warning out to everyone instead? Hush, hush. No, not seen yet, mate. Oh, right. Point I want to make is this. Why haven't the board, this is from somebody in industry, very well respected person, why haven't the board come out and said Crusher Ben is banned now? Ben Shalom came out last night after the Eubank fight, and Chris Eubank Jr. came out after this fight. One said something, then other one said something, and they said, let's do business once he's finished serving his ban.
Mm.
Right. Everybody heard it.
Yeah.
Social media was set on fire with it. Not one of you YouTubers has put it on Eddie Hills or Crusher since. Coogan, Puppy Parsons, you little licker. And Coogan, you licker. Why aren't you putting it on Crusher about what they said or Eddie Hills? We expect that this week. And you, the gad. All right, that's all I want. We want fair play in this sport and some clarity on what is going on, because the board, it looks like they're all up on this silent ban and daren't say out. UCAD daren't say no. But I'm expecting Ben Shalom and Eubank Jr., if that's not true, what they said, well, they'll be getting served papers this week then for defamation, won't they?
I would think so.
You think
There's
so,
not a
wouldn't
pair
you?
of there's not a pair of balls amongst a lot of these reporters, these so-called journalists. They're
No.
shambles, Share a wet blankets,
And I'm going to keep pointing it out. And if they want to crack on and try and cut my legs off, no problem. We've got Porky's International, YouTube, our sister channel, as backup. Pop, pop, bang. Down there for dancing, kids.
At least
No, Andy,
Juggy asked the Gad, Juggy
hey,
asked the Gad. Juggy asked the Gad, and he just slimed his way out of it, didn't he? Slithered his way out
well,
of
let me tell you a little story. I can't reveal my sources, and we're not talking flying saucers or
it.
AP sauce like Big Malk. We're talking proper sources here, because you know what? I think people are starting to buy into what I'm about now. It's took long enough, hasn't it? Hey,
Mm,
it's took long enough for
yep.
me to get my little bit of fucking coolness and my set of my bunch of flowers. Right, Gareth A. Davis, he knew about Joe Cordina, and Coogan knew, and you did as well, Puppy Parsons, and they knew for a while, but they never said no, mate. Why wouldn't they say anything about Cordina? and about money going under the table and stuff like that. Yeah, Cordina, you're gonna get what 550, and Eddie's getting the same. Whoa, whoa, whoa! And he's gonna take his cut off it, and Sims is gonna take their cut, and now they've all gone their separate ways. But nobody wants to go interview Joe Cordina, do they? Why is that? Why is that? Why are these people so powerful that they can treat boxers like dishcloths?
Yeah.
Like dishcloths. Well, let me tell you something about me, right? Yeah, I've been a criminal on that, and I've done some things I'm not proud of. But let me tell you this: with boxing, people are getting knocked about. Kids are getting knocked about. I was the first person that used to steam into Dennis every time. I remember Mick Whale coming in office with his lad Josh Whale, and I used to sit in that white leather chair next to Dennis, and the meeting would progress. They came in after one fight for their purse, and Dennis went, "What it is, mate? Showed it just so good, you're gonna have to take this." Mick Whale, to be fair, went, "Oh no, that ain't what we agreed, Dennis."
Mm.
So it and I went, "Oh." Dennis went, "Oh, what did we agree?" And I backed Mick Whale up. You can imagine once Mick and Josh have gone, can't you? What went off? And I've gone, "Oh no, no, we agreed it, and that's it, Big Ron." So Big Ron paid him, to be fair, but I know other kids that weren't so strong as Mick Whale. I'm not slagging
Yeah.
Dennis off here. I'm just telling it as I can see it. I'm all for the fighters. I were all for Liam Cameron and Chris Smedley. They weren't so strong with Dennis when it come
Yeah.
to Mondays when everybody needs to tip up. They weren't so strong. They were, yeah, all right. Because Liam
Mhm.
Cameron is about as honest as you get, Liam. Liam
Yeah.
Cameron is about one of the most honest kids you'll ever meet. I'm not saying it's sharpest tool in box. Right. He's a boxer, though, and his job's to box. Chris Smedley's about one of the most easiest going fellas you could meet. He's been down here all week. Chris, he's tiled dining room and kitchen for me. He's bang on, Chris Smedley. For half at price what these tilers down here wanted. But point I want to make is this. Boxers are getting knocked about. Promoters are not getting knocked about. And I'm all for the boxers. So let's just get that straight. Yeah, I might pull them up every now and then if they want to behave or come out with a load of shit. I always say, Don, am I saying, when the ice breaks, I'll be waiting. And I always am. Yeah, mouthy, so what? I can back it up. But
Boxers also have a very short career. Promoters have a long
there you
career. Eh?
go. Right. When Joe Cordina's done in 2 or 3 years, Eddie Hills will still be flying high. Joe
Exactly.
Cordina won't. But let's have it right. Turkey's money on the table for the Cordina fight against Stevenson wasn't what he was offered. Cordina got to find out about it, seen a few screenshots of what Eddie Hills had said to certain people behind the scenes, and he went, "No, no, no, I ain't having that." So fair play to Joe Cordina. But what Joe Cordina would have got for that fight, if he'd have kept his mouth shut, would have been a lot more than what he would have got if he went elsewhere. So, but why should they get all that? So, how many fighters is there now going out to Saudi getting paid what they're getting paid, and how much money is going missing? Because you've got all these lickers and all these advisors clinging on to these fighters now and leeching onto them, but the fighters think they've hit the lottery.
Mm.
But there's bigger money out there that they're not even seeing.
Yeah.
So I felt, right, I'm going to make a stand here. The Gad knew, Coogan knew, Puppy Parsons knew. They're just free. I don't know any more that knew, but I bet there were loads.
Yeah.
But why aren't they all the Joe Cordina's left Matchroom and he's left Tony Sims? Why aren't people running to him for an interview? Why not? Because when
Exactly.
O'Hara Davis left Matchroom, he were allowed to have an interview. Coogan and all them give him his say, didn't they? Because Eddie went, nah, we don't want him now. Get gone. No good to us. When people leave Matchroom, usually the one that Eddie will be like, yeah, you can have them on. But they don't want Joe Cordina on IFL, do they? Or Stomping Ground or Talk
Exactly.
Sport, do they? Why not? Why not? So
They
I
don't want the
made a
truth out
stand.
there.
Eh?
They don't want the truth out there, do they?
No.
Scared of
So
the
any of
truth.
you lot out there who want something out there, come and see me. And if I think, yeah, I believe that, hey, listen, you've seen a lot of what I've sent you. There's a lot I get sent, and I go, load of shit. Or I say, speak to me on WhatsApp video and let me meet you. But if I
Yeah.
know it's somebody genuine from industry and they're going to ring me on WhatsApp video and tell me in confidence, I'm up for that. So you get in touch with your Uncle Big P, let me tell you. Because,
I just hope
go on.
I just hope Turkey Allah Sheikh sees through all this and can cuts out all this skimming, eh? Puts a lid on it.
Listen, mate, Andy, do you think he don't know what's going on behind the scenes?
Nah,
Oh, they
it's bound
know.
to be.
They
Yeah.
know, but they're not bothered. They're not bothered.
Do they know the extent of it though, eh? Can it is it if
It's
it's
short
ah,
term. This is not long term. It's
yeah.
short term, so they've all got to scramble for the money. But what amazes me is, have you seen how everybody's behaving who gets to go out there, who gets an invite?
Oh,
They're all getting down on the knees and going, we're not worthy, we're not worthy. They might as well just give him a reach around, aren't they? Well, that's what's going on, isn't it? Do you know what? Some of these people out there I've known years, and obviously I've got to meet them through Big Ram, but some of them have known years, and it's so embarrassing because I've known them in my company where they've had a drink and you know what else, don't you? And they make out of this and that word of oak. My word is made of oak. You know all that, and they come out again about being Mister Staunch and this and that, and then I see them out there. I was laughing about it. I was laughing about it with a certain person who trained the world heavyweight champion earlier today. I was laughing and looking, and I was like, wow. And they're all getting exposed. They all
never
know
seen them
what
behave
they
like that.
are. But people lose the shit around a few quid and a bit of PR.
That's
They
it.
lose their minds. They lose their minds. But the funny thing about it is, the main two, Eddie Hills and Bricktop, the brass neck on them, they're not bothered. They're about pound notes. Because if they weren't, if they were about what's right, why ain't Eddie Hills going into bat for Tony Bellew? More on that. There's more on that this week to come. I've got a corker on that to come this week. And you know Tony Bellew? When all said and done, I've given him loads of stick on here. He rung Dennis up, tried to get me sacked, didn't you, Tony? And Big Ron stood firm. But let me tell you this. Tony Bellew's gone into bat for Matchroom for years, hasn't he? Right?
Yeah.
And we all know what Eddie Hills felt about Matchroom. Just like we know what Bricktop feels about Eddie Hills. They've told tales to Taxman, Vatman, God knows who else, Border Control, yes, and done everything they can to decapitate everybody's business for the best part of 30, 40 years, yeah? Right. Tony Bellew's gone into bat for them for years, hasn't he? Why ain't Eddie Hills gone into bat for him with this Saudi job? Because Tony's not had an invite, has he? And how does Tony feel about Eddie giving Bricktop a reach around on a daily basis for pound notes?
He'll be sick to the pit of his stomach, innit?
Tony
Thinks
will
he's
be
done it.
thinking, oh my God, hey, I've been made to look a fool.
He'll see the light, eh? The light will be shining in his bedroom window. Mm-hmm.
Shining in his bedroom window, mate. Listen, mate. Bellew's a fraud. Bellew's a fraud anyway, in my opinion. He never beat a champion. He's a paper chump. A paper chump. Uh, British, Commonwealth, European, and world title. All vacant. All the lot vacant.
And he's still itching for a fight, I think, isn't he?
Nah,
Maybe, yeah. Maybe
it's
he
too
wants to
late
be a
for him.
champion.
But do you know what I like about Tony Bellew? There's one thing I like about him. He's loyal. He's been loyal to Kerry Case for years. You know, he's cut man. And he's been
Yeah.
loyal to Matchroom, hasn't he? And Bricktop tried to shaft him with that Commonwealth. That's why they fell out. It's something to do with vacating and all that and blah, blah, blah. And Bricktop didn't have the money to sue him at the time. Otherwise, he would have done. As
Yeah.
regards Tony, You've got to tip your hat to Tony Bellew. Tony, I tip my hat to you. He's been loyal to Matchroom. And you know what? They've shit on him, haven't they, from a big height?
Yeah.
But it's about money, mate. It's about money. They'll try and throw him a few chicken bones every now and then. There won't be big marrow bones that big. A little few little chicken bones. They'll
Wee
throw him a
wishbones.
few chicken bones and they'll be like, trying to stay mix. So what you need to do now, Tony, is set up a YouTube channel like the Cobra and say your bit. All right. Because do
Yeah.
you seriously think that the Cobra's going to get any gigs off Matchroom now?
No.
No. Right. Is he going to get any off Bricktop?
No.
No.
I mean, Tony's got a bit of profile, isn't he? So he'd probably do all right on YouTube. Eh?
Of course he would. Yeah, of course he would. Yeah. But he don't know how to go about it. Tony, if you know how to go about, if you know how to want to know how to go about it, send me an email. porkycorner@mail.com. I'll give you a few bullet points, talking points, a couple of times a week, and we'll build your channel up. Would I? Hey, Tony, what's it like being on the outside looking in? Pop, pop, bang. Hey,
Aye.
unbelievable. How the mighty have fallen. Did Big Mount get her? Did Big Mount get her invite to Saudi, Andy? What? I can't hear you.
Had his case back with no invite.
What's happened to Big Mount?
He's on. He's been discarded, isn't he?
He's been what?
Discarded. Nobody want to speak to him now.
Big Mount. Do you know why they call him Big Mount? Because his ideas are big and so are his bins. Big Mount with his giant bins. Have you seen them? Like that, aren't they? Oscar Rivers failed his own test as well. Don Charles is using witchcraft. What a lot of shit.
Fantasist. Eh?
Quoting stuff from Bible and all that nonsense whenever anybody's fighting. And half of the stuff he quotes are Don King quotes. Thinks he's Don King, doesn't he? Big Malk, Big Malk. With your big bins on and your big ideas. Why do you think you're Don King? You're a poor man's Ambrose Mendy. Pop, pop, bang.
Don King had big bins like that, didn't
he? Big Malk's gone from being 16 hours a week, 100 quid a week, 16 hours at Sky, walking around with his Sky Sports badge on, making out that he's a big pundit. He's gone from that to a contract at Sky to losing it to what? What is Big Mount now?
Making up stories.
Stood queuing at food banks. What about Big Malk, frontman for MTK? What happened to that, Big Malk? Big fucking Malk. Did you see Tunde Ajayi on, sorry, not Tunde Ajayi, Anthony Yard on Sky?
I did that.
He comes across all right, doesn't he? Isn't he a nice kid, Anthony Yard?
I tell you one thing I noticed about Sky. Now, I've noticed this before. And the last time I noticed it was a Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor fight. Because a few of my pals were here and were watching it. And the Bivol Beterbiev fight, you know, when they show highlights in between the rounds.
Yeah.
Well, they're only showing highlights of Bivol's work. Bivol's good work, you know. And when Taylor fought Catterall the second time, they were only showing clips of Catterall's good work, you know. It's a bit biased, eh? I noticed that with Sky before a few times.
Listen, do you know that Sky lot, like, mate? Listen, do you know Horsecock, right? Horsecock. Right, I used to live near Horsecock years and years ago, right? Horsecock, right? He used to be Nazim Ahmed's driver. He was Nazim Ahmed's driver. Naz used to say, like, Horsecock, you won't like me telling this story, but I've got a soft spot for Johnny Horsecock, right? Dennis gets on really well with him, right? Horsecock used to be Nazim Ahmed's driver. When Nazim Ahmed were riding out, he used to have a N-Reg, old N-Reg, S500 Merc. And Horsecock used to drive it, right? And he were obviously at the time, probably British European cruiserweight champion, when it was 13 stone 8. You know, old when it, well, when it £190, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All Scott used to drive it, and you know Naz, he used to sit in the back.
Nah.
Naz used to sit in the back, and there were nobody in the front on the left hand side. And Horsecock used to drive him about, but Horsecock thought it was Merck. Because when Naz used to go, drop me off here or drop me off there, Johnny used to go burning around in S500. That's a true story, isn't it, Horsecock? You won't like me telling that tale. So Horsecock used to be sat round on Wicker in S500, chicken and chips outside Chicken Shack on Wicker. You know, sat with all bad men, you know, near Pitsmore and all that, where they serve crack and heroin and all drugs. And Horsecock used to be cruising about. I'll tell you that song that he used to blast out in it. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Who's that guy who sings that?
Was it? Oh, was it Mark McDonald? Was it? Was it? No.
Mark somebody used to sing that
Mark.
song. Return. I remember anyway. Like, Return of them. Johnny with there with his Nicholson leather on, S500, Merc, and it's not even your. It wasn't even your Merc, Horsecock.
Did he have a chauffeur's cap on?
Mark Morrison used to sing that
Mark
song.
Morrison, that's it.
Mark Morrison and Horsecock used to drive around in it, and it was Nazar's Merc. He was Nazar's runabout. And how he got to be the WBO champ, Naz was such a big superstar, wasn't it? He was on mega dough. He used to do pay-per-views in America and do mega numbers. And Naz said, Bricktop, get Johnny a world title or I'm gone, to Barry Hearn. And Bricktop was sweating. So he delivered Johnny the WBO belt. And did you see how Johnny got his WBO belt against Carl Thompson? In the worst stoppage of the 90s, voted by Ring Magazine. Johnny Horsecock, isn't that true? It's a true story.
Carl Thompson never got
fight. You know Carl Thompson? Carl Thompson was stood up throwing when they stopped it. It was the worst stoppage to ever stop the stop.
Yeah.
He should have a rematch. If you don't believe me, ask Horsecock's mate, the Spice Boy, Ryan Rhodes. They were all there. That was the worst stoppage ever. Horsecock ended up with that belt. Nobody gave a shit about that belt for donkeys. And then he was fighting move-around men and journeymen in defences for donkey's years. And blagged a job at Sky because Bean piled them all up in that gym. That's a true story. That's a true story. Johnny Nelson is where he is now by default. Johnny Horsecock, isn't that right? I love you really, Johnny, but you're a fraud. Wow. It's time to talk the fucking truth. Go and watch Carl Thompson versus Johnny Nelson. Bricktop for years had a ban on that fight going on YouTube. You couldn't even get that fight on YouTube. I'd be surprised if you could get it now. Can anybody find Nelson versus Thompson YouTube?
Carl Thompson, You can get it. I seen it recently. I think I sent it to you recently, did I not?
Listen, you couldn't get it for years, though, Andy, could you? That's a true story. Horsecock probably fought to get it out there. Because, listen, I'll tell you what, it was that bad. Go and read Johnny Horsecock's book. WBO never even gave him his belt for 7 or 8 years. He had to beg for belt. They weren't even passing it off as a win.
I felt hard sorry for Carl Thompson that night. Yeah, that was.
I did, mate. It was shocking. Terrible. Johnny didn't want to give a rematch, did you?
No chance. He didn't want that.
And what did Carl Thompson come do? He came back and flattened David A.
Did that. And he was about 40 odd then, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was. So just so anyway, I'm not happy about a lot of things. So I'm going to let rip tonight. In fact, I'm going to let rip all week. I've got my notes here. I'm dangerous when I've got my notes, you know. My eyes are going. I might need to get them lasered. I've just about had everything done except my eyes labouring and my cock reduced.
Don't get your Japs eye laser.
I've had my ear bit off, years ago by my half cousin. Broke me fucking heart, it did. I've had it all rounded off. It's not bad now. I
Yeah.
look like it were pointer for years, look like fucking Dr. Spot. You can't let
Oh,
NHS out for you, can you? NHS
look
are
at
shite, aren't they?
Evander Holyfield.
I went for a gastric band with NHS when I was £400 in body weight. It struck me off after about 9 meetings. He says, "Oh, you've got an attitude problem. You won't even deal with me." I had to go private at Claremont at Sheffield. They rinsed me. Hey ho, hang on, let's have a look here. I can't read now. Hang on a minute, I'm steaming. Well, I tell you what we'll do. We'll see how long we got left on this. Right. We'll pad this out, then we're gonna go for it. There's 4 minutes left on this, right? Who do you dislike the most in boxing? Tell me, Andy. Because I like to think me and you are good pals now after the last 2 or 3 years. Who do you dislike in boxing the most?
At the moment, probably Conor Benn. So your drug, just
On
his
the bench.
attitude, drug cheat attitude. Just all the videos the past few days, just been annoying me. He's going in shouting that he's going to be doing this and doing that. I'm going to knock you back out and see it. He's doing nothing. I mean, that's what I said in my own video. If I went down to Prestwick Airport, south of Glasgow, and started shouting about I'm going to fly all the planes, no, I'm not, because I don't have a pilot's license. He doesn't have a boxing license, so he's no fighting
You've
nobody, is
got a
he?
pilot's license, haven't you?
No,
Oh, so
that's what I'm saying. I don't have a pilot's license, so I ain't flying no planes. I'm
all
no
right.
chance. So he's no fighting anybody at the moment until he gets this license issue sorted out, isn't it? And
This is how I
I
look
hope,
at it. Yeah. Why
I
won't
hope
the
you,
board, Andy? Why won't the board come out and talk about the Crusher Ben situation? Because he's not fought in England now for 2.5 years, and the whisper around the campfire is he's serving a 3 year silent man.
yeah,
Right? That takes him to April. Now, the big noises in Saudi are saying you bank Ben in April. Well,
yeah,
that's 3 year. But is that going to be UK or there? Because they can fight there now, can't they?
yeah,
But Eubank likes a bit of a gap between fights, doesn't he?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know, but
He's
either
got a
way,
cut as well, hasn't he? He's got a
hey,
cut. Eubank got cut in that fight
yeah.
as
So
well.
it probably is April. But he's got two drug cheats. He's had 2 fights in 2.5 years, but in America. But he's got
Yeah,
two drug offences, adverse findings for clomiphene. Now, if you fail once for clomiphene, why would you keep taking it 3 months later? So he obviously
exactly.
he ain't got a care in the world, has he? But the guy who were giving him it all, and sorry, the guy who were advising him about nutrition and this and that Asian guy, he's gone missing, hasn't
Yeah, Doctor
he?
Who.
Doctor who done it? Yeah.
Yeah,
So all we want is some clarity, right? Do you remember when Julian used to come on channel? He used to talk sense,
yeah,
didn't he? I'm a bit
yeah,
erratic and I fly off handle because I don't really care about any of these. I'm one of them people that I get stuck into anybody I either get knocked out or I knock them out.
mm,
I'm an if I were a boxer, I'd be known as an I'm an egger, wouldn't I? I'd be that guy who's like 20 wins, 20 knockout, 20 wins and 20 defeats. I'd be one of them, wouldn't I? Do you know what I mean? If I
yeah,
and 8 draws or something, I won't be a champion, would I? I'd be like steam straight in and
mm,
no fought for anything. But that Crusher Ben, he gets under my Crusher Ben. I don't like you. You're a drug cheat. People are getting knocked in head in boxing, and by drug cheats like you, and a lot of them are getting away with it because there's a lot of drug cheats basically taking these performance enhancing drugs that where there's no testing. I mean,
yeah,
I can't. I'd like to think if I added it up, there'd be God knows how many shows Dennis put on when I worked for him, and I used to be, well, there's no drug testing, there's no belts online. I said, well, half of these could be out all roided up. Dennis is
yeah,
like, well, what can you do? It's part and parcel of it, and that's what goes on.
yeah.
Do you
That's
see where
frightening,
I'm
isn't it?
coming from? So is it going on at a lower level before they get to title fight
Yeah.
stages? Where's the? Why don't we have government funding to test them all year fucking round?
I
You know.
mean, to answer your question about why is the board not saying anything about it, the board's not saying nothing about it because they ain't fit for purpose, are
Now we're going to need to go into part two. So it's going to click off.
Give me five and I'll be right with you.
I'll see you in 5. Listen, Porky's International's where it's at YouTube. Jump over there because I'm going to put some corkers on there this week. Pop, pop, bang. Big shout out Racing Now, Smido's YouTube channel.